Our chief engineer spends most of his time in his machine shop, testing his automats over and over again.
Hey guys, my name's Rob. Thanks for swinging by the channel. This week we're going to do a little bit different of a video. I got on an airplane with my family and I went to visit my dad in Arizona. Now you got to understand, my dad is the guy that got me into all these money-sucking hobbies. And anyways, we did a little work on his car. It's going to be a quick video. I sat him down and talking about his current build. Just really kind of wanted to share that with you. So we're going to have that quick video, and then I know the part, I guess it's 5, of painting the car is going to be up next. It's a short video. It's the shortest of the series because, like I've been saying, all the paint work is in the prep work. Spraying the car, that video is quick. But I did have to end up respraying this panel, and you'll see that in the other video. Anyways, I got some runs in it. I didn't like it. I'm reshooting this panel. Anyways, here is what I recorded with my dad in Arizona. I hope you enjoy it. You got any questions, leave it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for coming around, and enjoy.
My name is Daryl Artie. I'm Robert's dad. The affliction that he has with automobiles comes from me.
It is indeed your fault.
Yes, it is. Behind me is a 1969 Mustang Fastback. The car was originally an M-Code 351 Windsor with an FMX with factory air. It now has a 428 FE out of a Thunderbird in it with a TKX. It's got a 9-inch in the back, 28 spline axles with 373s and a posi in it. The car is lowered about 2 inches. It has subframe connectors that Robert put in. So it's got a nice stance. I've gone ahead and boxed the upper and lower control arms for the car. The engine itself is 30 over, custom pistons, a custom ground comp cam. It's got a quick fuel 750 on it. Mechanical secondaries. I've got an MSD ready distributor from Summit in it and an MSD box. It's got a 7-quart Mulligan pan on it, and it does have the oiling mod for the rockers, and it has aftermarket roller rockers on it. But it is the one habit I'm working on now. The other habit is in the other garage. It's a 72 Mustang Sprint Package B car with a Cleveland. It now has a 5-speed in it, and it's got 350s in the back of it. So It's a fun little car.
It's a clean car too. We'll go over and take a look at it in a second. Tell me about the headers on this car.
These headers are FPA headers.
Let's see if we can see them. So we put this motor in yesterday, right, Dad?
Yeah, we put it all in together in one piece.
Yeah, we were worried about how we were going to do it, and I asked a question on the 6970 Facebook page, and a couple of the guys said that you can put them in with the headers on the engine. I didn't believe it, but we tried it, and it actually worked.
Yeah, these tuck up real nice. The FPA headers, they ask you what head you have, what it's going in, and what type of header you want. So these are designed for these heads. These heads are actually 390 heads from an early one with smaller chambers, but they've had 428 Cobra Jet valves put in them.
So they got bigger valves.
Yeah. So basically,
so it's a Cobra Jet head.
It's basically a 428 Cobra Jet clone.
Okay.
And they're tri-Y headers. They tucked up real nice. I'm extremely happy with them. It fits in real nice clearances.
Now, if someone was looking to kind of do this in this car, and you'd recommend these headers, what are they looking to pay for a set of headers like this?
I think I paid $1,100.
$1,100, worth every penny.
Worth every penny of it.
Yeah, they fit real nice, real nice.
These are FPAs. The Cleveland has Doug's headers on it.
Doug's, yeah, that's what I've got on the. I guess both my cars have Doug's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it went in. We had to kind of put it at an angle.
Yeah, we had to get it really steep. I sat on the cow and put my feet on the tail shaft of the transmission and got the angle of the dangle right, and it went right in.
Yeah.
I think it bumped maybe this bracket a little bit right here, right, Dad?
Yeah.
And then we nicked the shock tower right there, and then the pan hit right here. But we were talking about it, and we've both had harder times putting small blocks in cars. Like, it went in really, really nice.
Yeah.
So they say that the FE in FE stands for what?
Effing expensive.
Effing expensive, yeah. So I give Dad a hard time because of how much money he's got wrapped up in this motor. It's super cool, but I mean, he's probably got more in this motor than I got in my car. So they're not cheap, but if like for Dad, it's this is the setup you've always wanted, right?
Yeah. Well, my
So-
first car was a '69 fire engine red 428 Cobra Jet Torino.
Right. Yeah.
And at one time I had a 427 side oiler
Mm-hmm.
that had a 428 crank in it, which made it a 447.
What motor was that in, or what car was that in? Was it in the Torino?
Yeah.
What'd you blow up the 428 and then put
Well,
the
it was
428?
getting a little weak, so we said, hey, let's get
Yeah.
exciting. So we pulled the 428 out and put a 427 side oiler in it.
Is that the motor that you told me you spent a whole paycheck on a set of pistons?
Yeah.
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 That's the stuff we do when we're young, I guess.
Yes.
But-
Yeah. So, but
Yeah, so Dad's got this car ready to paint soon. He's jammed it all. Now I know you guys have seen me working on the paint on mine. Dad's way more meticulous than I am, but he's taken everything apart. Every nut and bolt has been replaced. The car is jammed, and it's gonna be what do they call this color?
this is Black Jade.
Black Jade. They have a different name for it in 70, but it's the same color.
Yeah.
I was considering painting mine this color, but
It's a dark forest
yeah,
green.
it's a great color. But this car is super straight. The only thing that it's really had done, it's had wraparound shock towers installed, right? Has it ever been hit? I don't think it has
Never
it?
been, it's never been hit. The shock towers, one of them cracked, and the guy that I bought it from was a welder by trade.
Mm-hmm.
So he cut out the shock towers and put in. Actually, these shock towers came out of a Cougar with wraparounds. So
Okay.
it's got the wraparounds in it.
Yeah. So it's
And-
big block ready.
It's big block ready, and then
Yeah.
we clearanced them a little bit down here,
Right, we did.
and then welded them up a little stronger. Plus, the shock tower has the inner brace plate to support it from the inside. That's welded in.
You've
there as
welded
well.
those in?
Yeah. So, and then, like I said before, the upper and lowers are boxed.
Yeah. And the suspension is factory, right? But you plated all the control arms?
Yeah, I boxed the upper and lowers. It's got high rate spring. I think they're 650 rate springs that are in it.
Are they just big block springs? Is it whatever the big block was, or is it
They were
something?
performance springs that I had in it.
Okay.
And when I went to the big block, it's got a 1 1/8 sway bar for it, and I have street Bilsteins for it all the way around.
Okay. And the interiors, he's got everything. It's yet to come together. This is a Flaming River, or I Did It? Whose column is this?
And I Did It.
I Did It, and it's a tilt. I should have done this in the Mustang when I had it apart, but didn't end up doing it. So that's cool. And then you've got the JME gauges
I've
for
got
it and all that
the
stuff.
gauge cluster with super
Yeah.
comps in it.
Yeah, those are going to be slick.
Yeah, and it's got 4-wheel disc brakes on it.
Cool.
Put 4-wheel disc brakes on it. The front discs are out of a Granada, actually.
Okay, whose rear kit is that?
I got that from Stainless Steel Brakes.
Stainless steel. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, and it's got the exhaust system is from, was it Hooker, I think? Or what is it?
Were these boreless? No, these are. It's a Flowmaster. Yeah, Flowmaster.
And it's got the little shorty 2-chamber. I think they're 55s.
So it's gonna be loud.
It's going to be loud.
So let's talk about the differences between a 69 and a 70. Not a whole lot, right?
Well, you got the scoop on the 69.
Right. That's one of the big notable ones. Is
Yeah.
the side scoop on the 69 and the medallion on the sail panel here.
Yeah, and then the taillight assemblies are different.
Yeah, this whole panel on my car is flat. Yours it dips in. I like this look better. This is a better looking rear end, I think.
So, but this car is absolutely rust free.
No rust on this car.
No rust on
whatsoever.
this car. I've owned it for 32 years.
Yeah,
With this short
we were just
amount of-
talking about that last night.
Yeah, 32 years I've owned it. So there's no rust on it. It just had a few little dents and dings in it.
Yeah.
What bodywork is done, this gray is an epoxy. I still have to do up here. And then we'll do a high build and do the finish sanding on it. And then we'll paint it. So,
Real quick, the only other difference is the front end, right?
Oh, the front end's different.
The front end on the 69 has the 4 headlights. Of course, it's not on the car right now.
Rear turn signals are different.
Yeah,
side marker
and
lights are
no
different.
side markers in this car, right?
Yeah, I've got them in there.
They have side markers in a 69? I don't think a 69 has them. Does it? Or is it in the valance?
It's in the.
I think they're in the valance.
Down here.
Yeah,
Not all of them.
mine are like right here.
Right in there.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I've got Yeah, it's got the marker lights and everything.
What wheels and tires are you running?
These are 235 60-15s in the front and 255 60-15s.
And these are torque thrusts?
These are chrome torque thrusts.
Okay. And these are what, a 7-inch or 8-inch wheel and a 10-inch wheel?
This is a 7-inch and that's an 8-inch.
8-inch. Okay, cool. So 255s in the back?
255s in the back, 235s in the front.
Okay. Yeah, and these cars will hold a lot wider of a tire. I think you can get a 285 in it.
Yeah,
if you got the right offset for it. Yeah.
Offset.
Cool.
So, but it's getting there. It's slow.
Yeah.
If you look around the shop, you'll notice that it looks like it blew up.
We did that. We did that.
This is our work from yesterday.
Yeah.
But
it comes with the territory. What kind of power do you think that motor's going to make, Dad?
It has a custom ground flat tappet comp cam in it, and I would guess that it's probably pushing somewhere between 450 and 500 horse, probably.
Probably over 5 torque, don't you think?
Oh, well, yeah.
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 And that's the reason for the TKX, right?
Yeah, that's the reason for the TKX. It does have an iron head on it, so we're going to have to play with the timing a little bit and put some really good gas in it.
Yeah.
But
and you live up here at 5,000 feet, so that's going to be an issue too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have to get it right.
The Cleveland, I leaned it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've reached a point in my life where I don't think I have to prove anything to anybody. So I just like to stick my foot in it and feel it up through my butt.
Now, I told Dad that we had to. I don't know anything about these big motors other than they would probably hold a boat still in the water pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But Dad says this is the juice, and I said we got to line up the cars and see where the real money was better spent on a light small block car like the Falcon or a big block car like this. But Dad doesn't want to do it.
Don't need to prove nothing.
Doesn't need to prove anything, I guess.
Yeah, my 427 I had in the Torino with an automatic with a C6 in it with 350s would lift the whole front of the car off the suspension.
Yeah, the gravity must have been different in the 70s.
Yeah.
So just playing.
I was also a little lighter.
That could be it too. Yeah, me too.
A little lighter.
All right. Well, can we go check out the other car?
Yeah, we can go do that. We'll go check it out.
All right, we're in Dad's other garage, and we're going to take a look at his 1972 Fastback Mustang now. All right, Dad, we're out in your other garage here, and tell us about this car.
This is a 1972 Sprint Package B Mustang. I've had this probably about 16 years. When I bought the car, it was painted. And it was originally a manual steering, 4-wheel manual drum brake car. And it has
But it's a real Sprint, right?
It's a real Sprint.
Okay.
This is a real Sprint. It had a Q code Cleveland in it, and it was originally a 4-speed car. I just recently put a 5-speed in it because of the 350 gears in the back. When I bought it, like I said, it was painted and most of the interior was done. So what I've done is I've upgraded the suspension, put a bigger sway bar in it, put power disc brakes in the front. This has KYBs on it all the way around, and a big sway bar and just stiffer springs. And the engine has actually been apart 3 times.
Yeah, tell us about that. I know you've had some troubles with this thing.
When I first bought it, the guy says, "Oh yeah, we went through it," and okay. So I pulled the oil stick out one day and I had milkshake. Never a good thing. So out it came, and all they had done was honed it, ringed it, and rolled bearings in it. In fact, you could still see the rust spots in the bore when they honed it. They didn't even do it right. So it came all apart. It went 30 over. Everything got cut, got all put back together again. I put a bigger pan on it, and I was driving it one day, and I put my foot into it, and I had a rod bearing go away. It rolled a rod bearing. So come to find out, anybody that's a Cleveland guy knows about the oiling issues with the Cleveland. So
what are the oiling issues with the Cleveland?
Well, the way the oil is designed, it goes to the top end up there, and a lot of oil goes to the rockers and everything.
So it's like it oils top end first, and then
it goes down, which is fine if it's a regular everyday car. I mean, a 2-barrel Cleveland and a Torino that you run every day is fine, but I stuck my foot in it. So what I did was I bushed the lifter galleys, and I put the cam restrictor kit in it, and put it all back together again, and drove it, and then it started with rattling a little on the top end. So I said, okay, so I took it back apart again, and I was still making a little metal in the bottom end. So we checked the crank again, we put bearings in it again, and it was rattling on the top end because too much oil was being pulled from the top. So I pulled the cam restrictors out of it and put it back together again. This has a custom ground comp cam in it, and it really does sound nice. We started, except we can't right here. So like I said, it's been apart 3 times, so I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah.
A lot more familiar than I'd like to be. But it has an Edelbrock RPM on it, and it's got a quick fuel 650 with mechanical secondaries on it. I like quick fuel carburetors. They're fully tunable. And this has a Petronix distributor in it with a standard coil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's their coil, their coil. And then I just put some nice pretty stuff on the front of it. It's got the factory original cross flow radiator and a mechanical fan. It never overheats.
Runs cool.
Runs cool. Runs really, really fun, like I said, other than having to deal with the engine problems. And the car sat at one point, so the ring and pinion was ringing. So I put new gears in the back of it. Strangely enough, it has an open rear end in it. The car originally came with, they called it the Sprint Package B, and it had the Magnum 500s on it. It has a factory rear sway bar in it, but it was a 4-wheel manual drum brake with manual steering.
So
Now,
sorry to interrupt, the Sprint was mostly an appearance package at this point in 72.
You could get this package in a Mustang, a Maverick, or a Pinto.
Oh yeah?
Indeed, a Pinto. So
Or the original Sprint.
the Falcon.
The Falcon.
The Falcon, you can get out. So, but they did this in 72 because of the 72 Olympics.
But what about that bumper?
Oh, this bumper. Yeah, I know
That doesn't look like a 72 bumper.
Well, it is.
A Sprint bumper.
It's not. I mean, originally the Sprints and the Mach 1s came with a color-coded urethane bumper.
And they always look like trash.
And they always look like trash. And I have the bumper, guys. I really do.
But this just looks so much cleaner.
The bottom line is the car looks better with it.
Yeah.
So the other one was really chewed up and torn up. And so I took it off and I went to put the chrome bumper on it. And then when I was in here, I found out that the previous people, they didn't like using proper hardware and it was rigged.
Was this car hit or was it rot? Because I know there's some battery tray issues that you were telling me about.
It was hit right here.
Okay, so it was hit.
It
just
was
a poor repair.
Hit right here, and they just pulled it here, and the battery tray is chinchily welded here.
Yeah.
But if you look right there,
A new battery tray.
there's a new panel for here that I haven't got to yet.
We just got to get Dad to move to Alabama so I can help him with all this stuff.
Moved to Alabama. So when I had the bumper out, I literally rebuilt everything up here.
Yeah.
So
You can see my dad's super meticulous with all this stuff. This is,
but the car looks a lot better with the chrome bumper. I know.
It looks
it's not
good.
original.
It's okay. It looks great.
But and then inside it
Yeah, what's the inside look like?
Sprint Package B, but it has the factory gauges in it. But
Oh, yeah. Got some aftermarket stuff in here to keep an eye on the details.
yeah, so and Rob and I actually rewired this car.
We did.
Yeah, it has a single wire alternate on it, and it's Francis Drake harness that's in it. Because when we hired it, when we rewired it, they did not make a 71 through 73 Mustang specific harness.
No, they didn't.
So we took a General Ford from this year to this year, and that's what we put in it.
Yeah.
So, but Yeah, the paint on the car is probably almost 20 years old.
It's decent. I mean, it's a decent driver. If you get up real close, you can see some stuff in it. But for how old the paint is, this is a single stage job. You can tell, but it looks great. I mean, it's a sharp looking car. Now, can we start it in here or no? Okay, so Dad's saying that this thing sits, so it's not going to pop right off because
gotta get gas up to the carburetor.
yeah, the bowls are dry, I'm sure.
There it is, the beast.
Thanks, Dad.